Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mindseye. We're gonna go ahead and get started a little bit. Let me fix myself. But it's like really cold here in Connecticut. It's like uh they said some wind and some rain and some snow, and here I am. I'm like it's pretty much like wear your sweatshirt and just hang out. But we're gonna go ahead and do it live and see how it goes. I got such a glare, my god. The lighting is terrible. Like I said, I've been experimenting with like OBS, or I've been experimenting with Rumble Studio, and then StreamYard, and like anything else is like really going on. But when you actually go to it, you actually have to say like what is true and what is not, or what's going on. But I've been sitting here and I just been kind of like being lazy and just kind of hanging out, waiting for like anything that actually like calm down or settle down, or like do it like a DONE as I say. But as I'm watching this, I'm saying there's something about being on point and being like right off the bat that I'm seeing already, which is a 10. We haven't even gotten to like Christmas yet. And people are like what I call a Lankard Langley style of like weighing out the options already for a Christmas plate. But when I see to it, I actually have to say, like, let's just go right to the cards. So, there's still a lot of issues. It's kind of like an alternative therapy to rhetoric, talking about Europe. And, last week we had a lot of committee hearings talking about how rhetoric and like anti-ICE and everything about law enforcement, but really it was like doing. There was a lot more ayes than nays, and than anything else being said, being represented. What happened this in England? Oh, Lordy, you're time to save yourselves. Okay, so I do know that they had a lot of issues in Brexit. They were really over this whole thing called like it's a movie, it's a film. Get your popcorn and your M&Ms and like watch it. And like, where's the mass arrest coming from? Where's the divorce that shocks everyone? It really is perspective at this point on like what to do. But like as I'm saying, this gentleman that they just had on Fox News and stuff like that, I mean that's the best that I can do in this house right now, and I'm grateful for it. But it's saying cautionary tale, Europe's demographic time bomb. Aye. So I mean that's really ill. So when we talk about ill, it really talks about how like the filling to the fillers of like down to the pill that makes it ill. And then we just talked about within the last week how fentanyl or anything else, like if you go to go get like generic, it's just not right. It's just like not right at all. So when I see this Knight of Swords on the split of the deck with the Justice card in reverse, it really means like something is like a cheapskate. Like I can't even say the word right, Jesus. And so then I'll like the cards just like throw it like there's like this like divorce like I had taught before, like divorce means many things. It could be like a separation in like a contract, it could be a separation in a business, it could be partnerships, it could be like working together. Divorce could mean like a cut on something. It's really odd, really odd. It will just happen. But what would be the one that actually shocks like everyone in the world? What would be that one? I have to say, it's something about this card usually means that like a type of like the upright, like they're well, they're secure, they're tranquil. And when you look at pentacles, it usually is money, it's hard energy. So you do this and you think it as the opposite, you go, knock it right off. You just knock it right off. But let's go and we'll look at what these cards actually mean. There's like something to it. Something to it. And you have to mind me, usually my shows are really quick. There's only so much that I can do on tolerating time limits. So I'm just kind of doing like a little bit of remote viewing. Remote viewing is when actually like your pineal gland is open so far that I actually can like think of the energy and think of the topic. I can actually kind of see what's going on around like in a faraway distance. You can look it up. It is something with psychics that we can do. All right. So the five stories in reverse. When you see this and you go, it's really cold air, really cold, stale air. There's no wind. So when I see it and I say to him, he's like, give it up, give it up, give it up. And I go like that. And I say, when you see this, you go, there's no takeaway. Because look at this guy right here. He's like behind somebody's back. He goes, I'm going to take this and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to be the one to be the one. But this is like, nope, no steal. And we went like, wait a minute, like on the news, is it correlated? Is it conspiracy? Is it anything like that? But is it alleviation from a difficulty? So let's do it. So don't mind me. Let me pick up these cards. I decided because this deck doesn't really want to talk. I can feel it. Like it's not as heavy as usually when I pick it up. All right. Oh Lord. So it really doesn't matter. Like everyone, like when they first started all these, like classic like psychic readings, which is one like they're really good. Again, like here it is, a ton of cards. Like there's like something of like a takeaway. There's something about a takeaway. You're not supposed to see it. There's a crossroads. There's a crosshairs. Then like I keep seeing like a bull's eye, where you couldn't even. So when you see this, and you see the magician, like it kind of is like a little bit of trickery. Like it's nasty, nasty trickery. They didn't use all of their senses. They didn't use all of their whole being to do whatever they needed to do. With this, it is a little hostile. It is a little hostage. It's a little bit like a detail. So when I'm looking at like law enforcement and military, when they're detailing something, like when they come upon a crime scene, it's like no, go to it. No, go to it. Don't come here near me. Don't go do anything. And I'm gonna stay away from you. So when I see this and I see this seven of cups, it's like look at all the options. Like look at all this. I feel like they like conjured up an idea and they went with it, and it's really, really nasty justice. Really nasty. Like it's a dull cut. So when I actually look at it and I look at the way my hair is, I'm looking at it. I'm like, I think I need to cut my ends because I'm frayed out. And what happens too, like with some people, and men and women, when we get a haircut, like the scissors are not the correct, it will actually make your hair fall out. So when you see this and you go, the seven of pentacles, see he's like well planted, he's waiting. Pentacle energy actually takes like a really long time to manifest, like per se, from what my experience is from being a magician, which means I have over like 380 folds open and on me. I couldn't even explain this issue to law enforcement or what really happened to me as a visiting nurse. But when I said I coughed and it all came out, I couldn't even do. It really does happen. That's the paranormal side of it, criminal activity. So we're going to debunk. So it's not planted, it's not manifested. I wouldn't say it's a manifesto. I wouldn't say it's Nazi. I wouldn't say like Third Reich or anything like that. These are harsh terms. Don't censor me. But when I see it and I see this five of wands, it's a struggle. It's still a struggle. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So when I say it like you got to be careful on the clink clank clunk on like placement of something, because you can actually like cause defamation and slander and slew to somebody just upon a look. And upon a look, and that's where like, oh my God, do we have to go to Reichstag? Do we have to go to Nuremberg? And then we talk about the movie. So when you see this, like it like fires up immediately. So when I actually like try to explain to them and to like everyone else when I'm trying to educate, it goes like it sparks up really quick. It's something that has to be caught really quick, especially when you catch energy and wind of it. When you see this, it looks so like devious on what has happened when we're talking about all of these things that they have been talking about for a really long time. It causes unrest, and it really does. It really does. All right, so when I do that, I go, what are we looking for when they do that on a cut? So when they do that and they're hashing, you go, you can't even do. You can't even like do. And that was like one of the conversations in the public. I couldn't even believe it. They're like, these guys can't even do. You know. So when you go and you say it and you say, how dare you say that? That's so derogatory. These guys actually can't do a whole lot, but they are quick with criminal intent and they're so good. I said, they lie so well, I can't even say the word straight, which means I'm not supposed to a degree, but they lie so well, they stand straight up. So, all right, they're talking about, delusional Crockett compares herself to Obama. I'd have to say to a college degree. There's really nothing wrong with that. She's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. That's what I would say. So I see that there's something like well guarded, and you have to pace yourself. Pace yourself. So whatever somebody's working on, whatever they're doing, you gotta go slow. All right. I feel some people are a little bit burnt out on this idea. I feel that they are still on the right track though. I feel there's a wrench. I told you it was a tool. I said like somebody here in the house went, no, it's like screws and like it's a tool. Ugh. I wonder, I went, where's the missing tool? How did she give it an early Christmas? How did Crockett give us an early Christmas? I think she found something and put it right out there. All right. So there's something about an identity. You can't even imagine. It's a mystery. Like we've been waiting for this one. Who is it? Who is it? There's something about no. Whenever I see this wings card, and everyone's like going to it. It's about no. It's about like colors in the eyes. And so when I talked about it, and I said wrapping for Crockett for crackpot, I can't even make that up. I said I'm like being practicing a little bit of witchcraft. I'd had to say like I got to the point with my little like cast iron like little like cauldron because I like burning incense and other things, other elements that like I had to say it like it was worn out. Like I had to break it to break even a little bit more curse. There's too much resin left. Is there something about known like colors in the eyes like dinging in the head? We see this and you talk about the dark. You go there's like a conflict or resolution because we had an arrest out here in Connecticut and there was an issue at Stockton, and and one person was a Compton. So I said, "Where's Tupac and Biggie?" Because they're coming out. You got colors. There's something about a race and a bird. There's something about a race and a bird. There's a small bird. Finally got it out from the 90s. All right, you got the intellect right here. Intellect usually is the subconscious to the unconscious mind that comes out. News. It is a fly by night when you see news, like people flying at night to get from where they need to go. Uh, all right, adjust this. Flubs the basics. Out of prison coming in and fire all scientists and doctors and the economists and the PhDs, replacing them with loyalists. It's actually not the best interest of the citizens in the United States. I'd have to say somebody put some words in someone's mouth to a degree. There is a book. There really is a book that people have been looking for. I swear it's like national treasure. So DEI comes back to bite him. It really does. You don't want to mess with DEI. All right. See, when you see this and you see elixir, excuse me, it is about health and toxicity and DEI. From what my personal experience from DEI, it comes like full known to the point where those about diversity and like exclusion and everything, like it came like through physically through like worse than what it should have been, and like it went out into the like the community. When I see cauldron, it was more of like a kick up, and then when I look at kick, I look at kick to kicks like cereal, stuff like that. There's something about dishonesty about this when you see the eel. I hear like kick it out, kick it out, kick it out. I know. When you see this and you see the pond, it's something like right at the surface of a water pond. You see place chief resigns amid Trump pressure. Usually, when I keep going back and forth like this, it usually means that there's something like what I'm trying to get out to the energy. All right, vision. Like we have seen this and anticipated this happening. It really is like the pop off. So anyone who's lived through these events, I got to say from 1970 to the current date and time, we foresaw an uprising into the street over a known source of like ignorance to ignoring a problem. It went to like wit and fun situation. Historically, it has happened before. I would have to say right before the Civil War. Right before the Civil War. When you talk about solitude, it was like being your own. Like you cannot like have anyone else help you. You have to be on your own. When you see this, it causes a rebellion. So, you know, not really backtracking, but actually like going back, I'd have to say when we were having protests out here and probably other states, it goes to the point of like I'm looking at this, I'm like, there has to do something with Karen Reed. There's like a quiet place of growth when they talk about this, like rebellion, quiet place of growth. Like it's just like, oh, sun's right there. When I looked at this, I said, oh my gosh. I looked at San Francisco, I said, something like a type of detriment. It's old wounds reopening. Something happened during that time where it all went nasty, where everyone went, oh yeah, toxic feminine energy, toxic masculine energy, misogyny, to where like it was like the great expanse of trying something new. And then it came in with power. All right. There's a story behind it. There's something that we all relate to and like a common ground. So then when you see United Nations, just like pay attention to the TikTok. Pay attention to um like the way that when you're scrolling through YouTube and all the what are the videos actually coming up on trends. I have to say, like, what is the sound value? Like right now on TikTok, it's like cold and gold. That's what how I would describe it. All right, wait an oracle. Lord, economy plan. He lays out the economy plan. There's a very like a vibration and a hertz. Like it's like reachable and attainable, but you can't actually like get it out and pull it out and start doing it. This plan. There it is. There we go. Okay. So again, it's talking about like right in the back of the head. And then when you see this, like you look up, it's talking about the North Star. it's something, when you look at this, it's a type of ruin. And you're like, I saw it, like I swear to God, it popped in my head, the idea, or I heard it. Light language, common language, like they're running their mouth. It's odd. Set your vibration, like they tell you what to do. And then all of a sudden, like you're in this like timeline jump, like it's not linear what happens in people's lives. It goes to show. So sometimes some things are like not meant to show in people's lives because of privacy. Some things are like not meant to like appear in public or anything like that. But let's look at this. Animal spirit oracle. What do we need to know? All right, there's something, when I see this cobra, it's not insurance. When I see the cobra, it's a type of like actual like stand up. When you see this, you see nightingale, like it's like calling it out in the street, calling it out. They did it before. Like, I told you, I told you, I told you, get back in the house. One of those situations. Again, it wants to talk about this deck. What do we need to know? It's old root. When I see panther, I say 1960 to 1970. It is this. When I see the crow and I see this, it's old, like occult roots. Old occult roots. So when I actually see the movies like The Crow and The Omen and these type of like witchy and like on Netflix, like Sabrina, the new Sabrina, which is a little bit more towards like Baphomet. I have to say that it's like this altered sense of reality where they go back and forth, like a Vampire Diary, something like that. So that leads right into PSYOP and like MK Ultra. To conspiracy theory, like what leads in first. From what I know, what we had a lot of issues out here with PSYOP. There's something like a glimmer, and then it comes in and like always know like a Black Swan event is like a retaliation event. When you see spider, it's old rooted to where you see where you can't even do. When you see horse, you say it's so old, like it's a game and it came in like too hard and from. When you see this and you see dragonfly, you see like the future, like those who say like the cardinal came to visit me, like signs and synchronicities. Like those type of things actually get them out of it. So there's like one who is really good. She is a really good psychic. She's a really good witch. Her name is Ariel Willow, and she really actually like has like this like crazy story on what happened. So like her story actually went to like a change in status, like census status, on what I'm seeing. And then when it went to it actually went to abatement, like disownership, like no friends, no family. She like went from one state and like traveled up the next, and then by the time she actually settled down, like it actually showed like what had truly happened to her. It was like a type of movement that we've been watching, especially with children and missing people. It happens so quick. So when I see bear, I have to say it's so old rooted that when people sit and just have like a bear and like and talk and like at this time, there is still like a little bit of hunting season. I see this, I'd have to go to like old roots. like family, like lore, and talking about like superstitions. Okay. Like in my family, it would be like make sure you wear a shirt to the table, make sure you don't wear the hat to the table, make sure you clean up after yourself, and then you make your bed, you lie in it, and like you set your table for yourself. Now, when I look at this, I say it really is like a nasty issue. And leading back right over says U.S. seizes oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. We did talk about that in the last shows last week. It would go something about like oil rig, oil tanker. There's something about, excuse me, like that gives me like a little bit of acid reflux. Like acid reflux. Like, why am I seeing acid reflux? Something about knocks on the door. Something at a time of rest, like knocking at the door. When I see this, it's like a nasty walking away and like finally getting rest. So when I see this, like something was worked. So when you see the Queen of Wands, it like they worked it so well that people don't go back. So then you talk about people living in Appalachia and other places. Like there's actually like this like form of disrupt to their culture, to their heritage. What do we, drone governors drone on about like giving all they got and giving up. Meeting in Poconos. I'm looking at all the places that they're like doing all these significant events. So you got the Poconos, you had like Fort Indian Town Gap, they had the fire of the governor's mansion. There was something out here, like we had a nasty, nasty case. It's called the Electric Blue Cafe, where it went to such an issue that everyone went counterintuitive and like was foregoing their own like behaviors of people who you wouldn't even expect to like abandon or like go and do something. You go, what are you doing? It was so just straight instinct not to do that you had to say like it went over 5 states, that investigation. When you see this, the Three of Pentacles, you couldn't work with like anyone. When they talked about it, like they're still trying to figure out what really happened in that establishment, because then it went to Lake and Riley, then it went to 14 dead in Texas in a lake, and it like all these things. And I'm not saying it's connected, but that's what I'm saying as a psychic. It caused such a pause in everyone's life in certain ones. But then it went to like, oh my God, like everyone's happy. Like the family's happy. Why are they happy? And then you look, there's like no going around to it at all. They're talking about toning in, tone, like everyone's like tone. Three of Cups. It's like a gathering together that's like not known. So then I'm going like this. And I say, when I look at this, the King of Swords in reverse, there's something about a loose contract. Mind you, I did not pay attention. I was a visiting nurse in that area before the disrupt. I was not going near it. I was resting and trying to recover and proving it was not just a cold. All right, so when I see this and I say, like, I was very much in reality, I could tell the difference already just from being a psychic prior. It's something not remembered. It's something like not to remember. It's not a recognized or remembrance thing, but it caused chaos, caused a lot of chaos. That's the Tower card in reverse, where people actually sit and look, and that is when actually we had word about like Abu Garcia, about the cartel, about the other gangs coming in, trying to obtain property, trying to and saying it was due, and I smashed her face in, and that was actually what was going on. So, for a lack of a better term, there was like no deal on the table. We couldn't understand where these guys were coming from. So, sorry to reiterate, but when I look at it and I say, you know, over the tone, usually when politics starts changing their tone, something else is going to happen. Like there's like this type of like foreknowing, like you have to be really good with your instinct and your intuition about this, like of being sitting and just watching, just watch everyone's behavior. When they change their tone, usually rhetoric is coming into politics. Okay, it does alleviate. I feel like it's something about healthcare. So, our president wants us to buy our own, or at least have the option of buying our own right now. But how can you do that when even people who are considered like per se able-bodied, but they can't get a job, even though they've applied for years? It gives a lot of anxiety. So they're bringing up Obamacare again. They're bringing up everything to the table. There's no like paper contracts. And I just don't understand. When I say I just don't understand why they would do that. That means like it's like for me, from what I am using my education, it was like, where's their mentality if there's no contract? Where's their thought process? I wouldn't say where's their mindset. Their mindset is health, welfare, and safety of the public to get their basic needs met. That's why it was a big deal about EBT SNAP. But let's look at this again. What do we need to know about healthcare that's coming in? It is counterintuitive. There's no paper to it. So when you're applying online, you can't really see like the gold in it, like in your like in anything that you would see. Like you would sit there, and then when you actually review it, when it comes in the mail, you're like, oh, there it is. There's always something. Now, only impeachment. Mind you, anyone who has studied constitutional law and political law, it takes years to impeach and to lame duck. And good luck, because most of them have diplomatic measures and immunity because they're always around people. So they always get dinged, they always get stung, they always get caught up, even if they're just sitting there. So when you see this and you see the Seven of Swords in reverse, you have to say, like, pardon me, but you have to, like, go to town and, like, go get it done. And everyone's like, I'll wait a day or two. I'll wait a day or two. When it actually goes through it and you say to the Seven of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Wands in reverse, to the Four of Pentacles in reverse, there's like no deal on the table about this healthcare issue. No deal. But they will have something to complete the cycle. That's like my family's face all the time. Like, this is not what we really wanted to hear. Let's go for the Peach Moonstone rooms. What do we need to know out of these rooms? So we got some confirmations. We got um still going towards like old like 80s and 90s, going through oil. Uh there's something about like power, like everyone gets like a jump of like energy. And then they start going about there's something about collecting. I feel like early like Christmas celebrations, because it is talking about like this is Othala. I'm so sorry, it's like really hard to see, but Othala means heritage, culture, estate. It's talking about going like early Christmas. It's gonna come in like really strong for a lot of people. Ooh, that's not good when that happens, because there's something about havoc in a few people's lives. It's really bothering. It has to do with like a type of water, and I'd have to say look back at the mineral deal. Look back at the mineral deal. There's something about like this solidarity to isolation to being too like hermit mode, as I would say. It's almost like this type of luck. So when I see this, it all goes to it when it time like Tor in this room means like a going on, like a going like through it. When you see this, it was like almost like a gift. And that was like one of the things that I saw like in my last scene, probably around around September 15th. There was like something important. Like even my kids were like, there's like on a Monday, Ma, I feel like they're going to tell you something on a Monday. It is ill fate. It has to do with like a type of smoke, a ritual smoke. It's like hidden. It is a game, but it's not a game. There's something about the jewels. There's something about the cigarettes. There's talking about the battery operated cigarettes. Instinct. There's something right here. Right here. I say when they actually like smoke, it's right down the GI tract. Why would we actually be getting together as family members? Is this about, there's like a form of universal birth? Did they find something with this flu? Yeah, they found how powerful this flu is. It's like when you actually smoke, like you can't actually like do it. Like you actually can't even be around people at all. Like it's not regular cigarettes. It actually is like all of a sudden you can't smoke. It causes such a freeze in universal precautions. It takes months to recover. So there's something about like happy and like joy. There's something about like happy joy living. They're showing me like presence and mediumship a little bit. Like a couple of earthbound spirits around here. Something about warrior. Like I like at least in this house, like I know there's one and they're fine. They're really fine. It really has to do with water, like fluid, like lighter fluid, like ashing. This is harsh or straight out the mouth. Like it takes away the wealth. So basic way of saying it's taking away the wealth. Like whatever. Why is this issue drawn to the jewels, to the battery operated cigarettes? What is in that fluid that actually makes everyone like lose their job because they're so sick. What the hell is going on with this? That's what I was saying. When they ride around, it's called a pertain. And when they pertain, they like gain and gather through the wind, like catching wind. Like someone who's ever ridden on a motorcycle. And when they're catching wind, they actually like get solid. When they get solid, like it compresses, like it loosens and softens them. That's there it is. And when they pertain, they get it all out and they're like seeing like odd. And they're making like decisions based on that and they actually get really sick. Really, really sick. Now I don't see like what they call like popcorn lung or anything like that. At night, they get it all out. Like they're running their mouth so constantly it hurts. We see this, like they're so bad with retainment with it. Some people, you have to look at their mouth, like ulcers. It's leading me to like Santa Obama. There's nothing hidden with this. It's not anything hidden. What is it with Obama and Perth? It's like a type of sit-in and a set-in where it's hidden and it goes like kaboom, kablooey. And like something is born out of like individuals. They saw it more in like Nebraska and Arkansas. Highly, highly defensive, highly defensive. Where did that come from? There's something about that. That caused more of a whooping cough, that issue. Okay, let me put the runes away. Where did that all come out? I swear to God, I'm not leaking. Alrighty. Almost done. Here we go. Put it away nicely, Jennifer. Here we go. White Sage Tarot. A little bit softer in energy since that was hard. Alright, Six of Swords and the Queen of Wands. It's like talking about the job around those two incidents. Now, going back to what they were talking about, Perth, it does go back to like 1920, 1923. And when you sit there, it is a little bit of like a Bonnie and Clyde type of thing that happened prior. But there was like no buzz or like spirits to it. It did break up partnerships. When you see this and you see the Three of Swords, it didn't hurt as bad. When you see this and you see justice, it actually like balances out. When you see this and you see the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, there's no prudency. So there was something about people working together when you actually like say you're a manager and you kind of rearrange the department. They're like, you're going to go work with them and you go work with them and it works out. That's what it's talking about. When you see this and you see the Nine of Cups, there's something about gravity and gravitating to it. There it is. That's why they were talking about like you need the graphene oxide, you need the zeolite, you need the shilajit, and then there we go. We finally got it out. We completed the cycles, the world. So when I say that, I just like, oh my gosh, I just want to put it out there and throw it right to it. Again, there's something about this. So we saved steel. That we saved steel. How did we save steel this week? Union workers, Teamsters, all of that. Two of Pentacles to Two of Swords, too hardcore. Like this, when I'm looking at it, it was so hard of a cut and dry when we actually did what we did on a business deal that these businesses can say, we can actually give back to the kids. It was like little, like it like the energy showed me like a square, like, oh god, I can make this like cut and I can like put this right here. All right. I don't know why here goalpost is nature's bounty. Are we going back to COVID and toilet paper? Like they got off scot free or something? I just can't even. Like Nine of Pentacles, talking about steel, Nine of Cups in reverse. Uh, like it's talking about like. So we got like I caught it really quick. So it's talking about um how we saved U.S. Steel, and then we could actually make like giving back to the community, more business ventures, and then it goes to really unhappy about the battery operated cigarettes, about the jewels, and then we were talking about Perth, and we're talking about Pertain, where they had these odd physical phenomena where they actually could not work. When you see this and you see the Knight of Cups, like all of a sudden these guys get together because they're able bodied, but they're not able bodied, and it was a free will choice. So when you look at it and you say the Hierophant, it's a bit dictative. They do get dictative. I can see patients being like that. They're highly dictative. They're tuned. They're definitely attuned to a degree of alignment where their chakra is turned on themselves. But it really, really hurts because they're like, I can do this. But when they actually go back into the workforce, they actually can't. There's like activity intolerance. When I see this and I see the Wheel of Fortune, it's talking about like natural earth luck, universal luck. It's cold, it's gold, it's water, B-A-Y. There's something about just drinking mineral water that's fine. It's odd. Okay. And crescent moon and spring and autumn. I feel like it's leading into it a little bit. What do you want us to know about that? About the steel? There's something about manganese. Like there's a deficiency in manganese and magnesium. Archangel Gabriel in reverse, Chi and crescent moon. They're like almost like so attuned to the moon cycles. These guys afterwards, where they go, no, not this moon, but try this one and do a cut on it. Okay, when you see this, there is like it's so set in stone, in intricacies and the industry in reverse to the fated meeting. Like people actually like get together after certain things have happened, after these incidences, and they're like, I wasn't really supposed to be or near you. I feel, or is it karmic? Because the energies when you see this Queen of Forces in reverse, it really is like topsy turvy. The Ark of the Covenant in reverse goes not safe, not safe, not safe. When you see this, you see the karmic trench in reverse, like level playing ground dirt. Level playing ground dirt. It's gonna mean something for somebody. Breaking of commitments, like sudden. When you see this and you see the King of Scrolls in reverse, you see like there's really nothing documented. Like not even a court can like dictate it out. Like there's just really like nothing they can do. It's right there though. Why went in the court be able to dictate something out. All right, there's something about a gift and being like a stenographer. Why am I saying stenoist? I haven't heard that word since the grandparents were alive. Like getting together. Wealth. There's something about wealth. About like instinct. Again, it's like after they meet certain people. When you look at this and you see this, something happens overnight. That's what like happened. At least like you like go to bed and you're sick the next day, like really bad. Like you got stung. But that's, I agree. People really don't think like that. Like you got stung. It really is like living. Something about living. There's a huge change in perspective I'm hearing in the next 2 years about being sick and injured. Like something that's not really talked about. That's true. Something strong, something actually seen in the courts. They're like, oh, that's just common. That's just really common. They just give it out. They dish it out. It's criminal. Inducing ill. So when you see this and you see, I actually see something about the Oregon Trail being reopened, like talking about it, up to the video game. It's like a huge turn of events to where you actually watch the ports. When you watch the ports come in, you go, easy, caught it. Timing. When you see this, all you have to do is just listen to the radio and it's right there. So then they go, do you really need a psychic? Just sit and watch. Just sit and watch. There's something. And I'm looking at everyone. There's like wealth of the people. I'm not seeing like releasing the gold. I'm not seeing like Nasara, Jasara, Quantum, or anything like that. It did go back to talking about the dong, which is a type of currency, down to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. There's something about like already building up into the future for the future. All right. Now the energy is kind of leading back to like these monuments to hit like back to parks and stuff. There's something about coping mechanisms, density, addiction that I got in. Like I feel certain people actually go and like they're going to exercise, they quit smoking, they quit drinking. It's part of like becoming sober and clear. And right there is in your face. There it is. Caught it. So a little bit of psychic staring, scrying, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. I feel like it's L activation that they're talking about. Like your chakras are not on and you're not aligned, but you're highly attuned. Highly attuned. You can hear it. And then writing past wrongs at rooting, like people are trying to like get clean and clear and get right. And when you see birth and creation's tapestry, expression of life, there's something like people getting upset in the next like 1 to 2 years coming out suddenly that they're like, this is like a family tradition. Because I'm hearing Hank Williams like a broke family tradition. Stop right there. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. That one creeps me out a little bit. Like, nasty. All right. Then all of a sudden, it's like loss of inheritance. Then when you see this, you see Daughter of Pentacles in reverse. Like, people actually get upset. They're like, well, you didn't call me. Well, you didn't email me. Well, I'm trying to get better. Or I was busy. Like, I couldn't show up. And they get heinous on their family members and friends. Heinous. Dictative to source. And then, like, Daughter of Pentacles in reverse goes, it really is like a naive offering. When you see this and you see the Chariot and you see the World and then you see this, you see the Father of Cups. Yeah, to the Father, oh my God, to the Father of Wands, the Father of Cups, the Father of Wands with this. This was like a big, like, masculine energy in people's lives over the last like couple of years, where you look over it and you go, they really got upset, to where marriages, like, some people actually like split marriages up. When you see this and you go, the Three of Swords in reverse, I mean, it doesn't hurt as bad going to like Thanksgiving dinner. They weren't really a part of the family anyways. This is like a betrayal alone? There's a type of luck. There was something like so dishonest and so unhappy about this. When you look at this, all of a sudden, like, I'm looking at like young feminine energy. You almost need like a break after that one. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't mean to say his name in vain. But some people heard some things through the grapevine. All right. Well, Norman. Oh. Oh, Lord. When I look at this, I go, the 9 of spades with this mob thing. I swear it's an old mob thing. When you watch Peaky Blinders and they go and there's a funeral and then in the back of the church there's a marriage and they have to solidify everything quickly. That's what it was like, the energy for some people, where they're like, I'm done. I'm like, I'm getting out of this. It's heavily rooted and planted. Like, it's talking about heritage, culture, and estate. We finally got it out. It was like, no step on snake. That's all you need to know. Like, don't disrupt the apple cart. When you see this, you can't actually like open up like ancestry.com or anything like that. You see this book right here. That's what it's saying, number 26. In numerology and with the diamonds with the book, it means all was like old and known, like passed down from generation. Like you just don't do. This is what we do. To where you actually look at this and like you're talking about like King Arthur, you're talking about um like whole new things. 19 carousel with the six of spades, like it's so old form and fashion. You almost have to look up and say, I wouldn't go there with that family member because they'll do it. So then that was like more than enough for me. This card, the eight with the coffin with the nine of diamonds. To end on this note, it's like a hunting party. I hate to be that blunt. Hate to be that blunt. This is gross. That's why I feel like that's why like more things are on the table about readdressing things that have already been addressed in politics. It's about like um heritage, it's about culture, it's about probate, it's about all these things, and now we need like better infrastructure. So when you need better infrastructure because sudden divorces happened or sudden untimely deaths happened, and they need like insurance, they need securements, they need security. Like what actually brought the universal collective to this point where we're like need it right now. So they're talking about healing, they're talking about war swords, about unrest. It's about like huge massive changes where it doesn't even qualify for like talking it out therapy. Okay, the Four of Pentacles, reticence. Reticence, I would say, in this is a type of like retribution pay, judicial judgment. Like actually, people are getting tested like on their senses. I'm seeing. Now, when I see this, that means like throw it right out there. I'm feeling like people are saying that. Ten of Cups in reverse. Like this had nothing to stem with like these huge cataclysmic events, but it was a huge change of like quick endings, sharp endings. Ten of Cups. They're happy, like they're grieving appropriately. They're doing everything. Again, brings me back to a conversation about why we get life insurance. It's for securement because you can't work usually after. Now, when you see this and you see the Two of Wands, it's like future planning. When you see the King of Cups, like it's about balance and attunement and sitting and being alone and being okay. Sometimes people need to do that after certain events. When you see the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, you go, it looks like a greedy of too much of like a selling of oneself. But when you see the Five of Wands reverse, it like alleviates. What is it when people are like this? Try to go back to when I was a hospice nurse, palliative care nurse. They have been in it so long that they feel better when someone passes away, and then the guilt hits. All right, almost done with all my stuff. What else do we need to know? What else else do we need to know? There's something about healing, continuing to heal. Take that time and that pause. Take like this, take the King of Cups in reverse and saying that it's not gonna like make you like to that tone. I feel like some people need to get away from some energy depending on their situation or how it played out. When I see the stars, not fulfilled wishes. When you see this and you see justice, like they actually have to sit alone and try to like cut away at like old energy and see if they need to come back. Like I'm seeing more jobs, about jobs. When I see this and I see 3 of Wands, like you couldn't even foresee it coming, like people walking out of their jobs. Huge protests. When you see this and you see the Knight of Wands, because they're just not clear. When you see the Knight of Wands in reverse, it's like no wind, no fire, like no billowing smoke. It's more black and gray. It's dictative, like they are dictative, these individuals, and that's all this deck wants to say. But then all of a sudden, like they're good, they're clear, and it goes right through, and they're able to get like an employee contract again. All right, let's go to this poplar wood runes, and that will be it for tonight. There's a type of like I'm seeing like a torque wrench to a trolling. When I see this and I see like joy, when I see this like going about, when I see this and I see like warrior, like not clear, like something about like not being clear, something about like being born, all of a sudden, like someone had had enough. When you see this, it causes like havoc. It is fated though, like it was like a huge choice. When you see this and you see like you're like jiggling the wheel, like you're like trying to figure out what's wrong with the car, and you're like turning the wheel, like is it locking, and what do I need? And then all of a sudden you're like, you need an exhaust. Yeah, like you're like, I need an exhaust. When you see this, you see like sometimes like old families, like heritage and cultures, they like put it into them like centuries ago. All of a sudden it like turns on when it's needed. It's talking about that, about a type of inheritance, generational inheritance. They just have a knack for it. I'm seeing around the 23rd, like people actually are like, oh, it's gonna happen at night. This like end, this freeze that we've been talking about. It's not being seen. When you see this and you see the sharp endings are at night. At night. That is odd, usually. Very odd. It's like lake effect snow coming in. And you go, this weather is a gift from God. Comes in strong, comes in the wind. It's like a topple over. It's different. Again, it has to do with like the actual astronomy. And lastly with this one, collecting, like you can't even make it up. It like it's just happening. It's just normal astronomy, astrology. It's planetary alignments on how these decisions are making. That you just can't control it. It's like true universe past the Milky Way energy making people do this. So with that being said, I mean, that's all I have to say tonight. Tomorrow on Patreon, that is a paid reading. That's the 2026 psychic medium astrological reading for the next year. That will be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and go to Patreon. It's right in the link tree. You can just go ahead and click it. But other than that, have a good night. Any questions or concerns, leave a like, a share, a comment, an email. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll talk to you soon.